Greetings, my lords and ladies. This is the Akasaurus, and welcome to my discussion about the rise of High King Anduin Wrynn. So grab some tea and scones if you be so lucky. Get yourself comfy, and let's begin. So the release of the official trailer for Blizzard's upcoming WoW expansion, the Battle for Azeroth, has given us the most detailed and beautiful look into Azeroth to date. Both the fidelity of its CGI and also the actual story content have not only maintained Blizzard's reputation in this field, but surpassed it. This is the first time we have seen King Anduin Wrynn, both in this level of detail and also as a Battlefront Commander-in-Chief. And there was something in particular that really struck me about it. When you see Anduin, he is wearing one of in my opinion, the most badass Alliance helmets and pieces of armor we have ever seen. But then the helmet is knocked off and we see what the so-called Boy King actually looks like. And the first thing that came to my mind was, you have your mother's face. So what do I mean by that? Well, it's important because I feel it is at the heart of how people in his world of Azeroth and also us, the gamers, have seen and treated him, reacted to him. Anduin's mother died tragically when he was very young, and he was left with a father who, juxtaposed to him, was like night and day. And it has not helped his image that his late father was also incredibly overprotective of him. Varian Wrynn was an almost brutish at times, massive in physical stature, and in every way an imposing and powerful figure. Whereas Anduin, as the trailer shows, even in such awesome armor, he is slight of frame. His voice and personality are soft as well. I firmly believe one reason why his father was so overprotective was that he not only saw his wife, who he failed to save in his son's face, but also his gentle nature, voice, and stature. All of this took personal agency away from Anduin, for him to be seen almost as a damsel in distress by everyone, his peers, and even us the gamers. Anduin Wrynn has always had the problem of not being taken seriously. When he successfully fends off an attacker or two in the trailer, I've heard people refer to him as Manduin, once again mocking him as a man, or the term the Boy King, essentially saying the idea of him leading the Alliance as a joke, and who would want to follow or feel protected by him. But I believe and hope to show that High King Anduin Wrynn has a phenomenal strength that until this moment we have only seen glimpses of. It's a different kind of strength than what we have seen from most leaders in Azeroth, making it easy to miss for most people. Anduin is no deep-voiced physical juggernaut like his father, the Wolf of Stormwind, or his namesake, Anduin Lothar, the Lion of Azeroth. Instead, he is the Lion of Light, and just may become one of the most powerful leaders Azeroth has ever seen. The power of Anduin Wrynn comes from his almost prodigy-like connection to the light. While he has been trained by some of the greatest fighters in Azeroth, like his own father, he is no great swordsman. He cannot become a physical force of nature like a Tauren or Orc charging, nor spread terror and fear in his enemies the way Sylvanas can. Instead, he can reach out to something far greater than himself, something intangible and yet immensely powerful. He can raise his defeated allies back to full health again and again, and in so doing inspire them to keep fighting ever onwards. I'm focusing on this because we just have never seen the sheer power of the light and how it works. It's ethereal, otherworldly, divine, in fact, nature before. I may be grasping at straws, but when Anduin reaches within himself in his people's hour of need, his detractors may have thought, look at the boy king out of his element, he does not run, but instead finds that lion-like courage and faith within himself and executes an act worthy of a master like the prophet Velen himself. And it even makes the Horde's countercharge stop in awe, if only for a moment. Because remember, when Sylvanas calls out for the Horde, inspiring a badass countercharge, this does not halt or stall the machine-like march of the Alliance at all, not a bit. But when Anduin is able to call down that brilliant cascade of hope, and you see all of his forces stand up strong and ready as though it was the beginning of the battle, the Horde does halt for a moment, however brief. In his short life, Anduin has seen his own optimistic and pacifistic beliefs shaken and challenged. He has stood his ground against those far stronger than him and learned and survived. This Anduin Wrynn is someone who has at last been able to take back his own agency. He may always yearn for peace inside, but he now fully understands his father's words, peace is the noblest of aspiration. But to preserve it, you must be willing to fight. And so, when Battle for Azeroth at last comes out, do not bring your previous preconceptions of Anduin with you when you see him. This is not the insecure, waffling, effeminate boy king or Manduin. This is a young man who has been tested within and without. This is High King Anduin Wrynn, the Lion of Light, and he will be a force to be reckoned with. Mark cannot underestimate him at ye peril.